Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Ironbark Podcast. I am your host, Epion, and today, it's a great day. It's a beautiful day. It's a wonderful day, actually. It's not at all. It's actually a tragic day. I've flip-flopped once. I've flip-flopped many times in this podcast. It's bound to happen. It's truly going to be something that happens, and it's going to continue to happen. Anyway, folks, we're going to talk about today. I don't got a whole lot to talk to you about. I know I say this every podcast and then I end up ranting and raving and rambling for maybe upwards to an hour. But today we're going to talk about it is kind of a tragedy, but a lot of people are kind of laughing at it, right? But we'll unpack it. Two men found dead while searching for Bigfoot. I'm sure most of you have seen this story pop up in your newsfeed in some way, shape, or form or another. And it sounds ridiculous, right? It sounds asinine. It sounds stupid. It's like, because to the majority of the normies out there, Bigfoot isn't fucking real. It's not fucking real to them. And I'm not saying he's not fucking real. That's not what I'm saying. You're not listening. You're not listening to the words I'm saying. I'm saying a lot of people, not me necessarily, a lot of people don't believe in Bigfoot. So if you were to die looking for something that isn't real, some people would say that's dumb. Now, it depends on how much effort or what you're really doing. If you're just taking the piss and then something tragic happens, it's a different story, right? Because I feel like it's a free country. We should be able to look for things that aren't real if we don't want to, or if we do want to. And we should be able to do so in a way where nothing bad happens to us. So I'll say that. So I don't like, it's easy to laugh at. It seems asinine. It seems silly. But here's the thing. These two men, they're probably fathers. Maybe one was a grandfather, brothers, sons. At the end of the day, like, it's human life, right? We don't it's too easy for us to sort of just be like, haha, fucking idiots. You died looking for Bigfoot. You died like you lived, like a fucking moron. Like it's not a nice it's not a nice thing to say about people. And these aren't my words. These are just the sentiments that I'm reading. I swear they're not my words. Anyway, you may take that as sarcasm, but it may not be. So I'll get into this article on the BBC. They did a pretty good job of summarizing the events of what happened. So, two men were found dead in a remote forest while searching for Sasquatch, also commonly known as Bigfoot. According to authorities in Washington state, the two men from Portland, Oregon, were found dead after a 3-day search was launched on Christmas Day. Oh, see, that's fucking sad. See, this isn't something to laugh at. That's fucking sad. After a family member reported that the pair had not returned from a trip to the Gifford Pinchot National Forest. Sorry if I fucked that up. To search for proof of the mythical, why do I got like a lisp going on? I don't know what's going on with me. Mythical, hairy, forest-dwelling bipedal primates. The search involved over 60 volunteers searching with aircrafts and dogs in heavily wooded terrain and brutally cold weather conditions. Let's give a shout out to the search and rescue teams. Like, these guys, like, a lot of these people, they don't get paid. They're not getting paid. They're a volunteer group, and they do training sessions and stuff on weekends, and they go and look for people. They train their dogs for it. They get like the bloodhounds, the scent hounds. These people to some extent are dedicating their time, putting themselves at potential risk. These are kind, good-hearted people, these search and rescue teams, and they do not get enough accolades. They do not. They are fucking legitimate, real fucking heroes. They have real hearts. They're there when you fucking need them. If your family member went missing and you wanted the entire fucking world out there looking for them, you would love these fucking people, because guess what? The whole world's not showing up. Just these fucking people are. So a round of applause to those people. National Forest for search of proof of the mythical, hairy, forest-dwelling bipedal primates. The search involved 60 volunteers, aircrafts. Okay, yep. I already went over that part. Both deaths Both deaths appear to be due to exposure based on weather conditions and ill preparedness, the statement said. The sheriffs once found a car belonging to the victims near the town of Willard, the statement said, and the search refocused on to that area. Drones were also used. See, this is a really good use of drone technology as well. Like, a lot of people like sleep on that, but if you can get like you could do searches at night now with like a heat detection drone. Drone technology has made the wilderness a little bit more safe, and to some people, they don't like that. They don't like that people have Starlink. They want to feel like they're at real risk and danger and like they're really surviving out there. But I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful that it's there when we need it. Drones were also used, and a Coast Guard helicopter team was called to help with the search. Officials have not provided the names of the two victims, aged 37 and 59. You know what? And I applaud that. I'm glad that they didn't release the names of those people, because them being tied to Bigfoot or Sasquatch as a cause of their death, but like it looks apparent that it wasn't a Bigfoot that killed them. It was just like exposure. It's in the best interest of protecting those people's like what would you call it? Like humility, like privacy, like the families. Like, here's something I want to say to everybody on the podcast. There is a possibility, because I'm such an outdoorsy person and I hike a lot, that something bad could happen to me. I don't think it ever will, but there are grizzly bears out there. There are black bears. There are bad actors. There are unpredictable weather conditions. There are rock slides. There are avalanches. There are boulders that fall. There's countless things that could happen to you. If I ever go missing and I'm shit posting online and I'm joking about maybe I'll find a Sasquatch, please do not tell the press and the media that I died looking for Bigfoot. Tell them I died fucking hiking. I died hiking. I was fucking hiking. I was backcountry camping. Maybe I was just jokingly looking for Bigfoot. I wasn't sole purposefully looking for Bigfoot. Please don't let it be posted that I fucking died to Bigfoot. I don't know how this story took off like that. Maybe it's people sensationalizing headlines. But how I envision it is somebody's family member who cared for them and deeply loved them thought they were probably helping the authorities by saying, hey, I think they were looking for Sasquatch and Bigfoot. Maybe does that help you guys narrow down the possibilities of where they could be? Does that help them narrow down the possibilities of Bigfoot might have actually got them? Maybe you got to be looking for the Bigfoot. Do you guys secretly know about a Bigfoot out there that you're not telling us about? If I die to Bigfoot and there's evidence found, that'll speak for itself. Otherwise, it'll look like I probably fucking fell and bumped my head. Please do not tell the authorities. Please do not tell the media. Please do not repost it on X if I fucking posted about it jokingly. Just say I died hiking. I fucking died hiking. And if I died to an animal, it wasn't Bigfoot. It was something fucking cool. Like a fucking Wendigo. Or a skinwalker. No, I'm just kidding. A werewolf. I'm kidding. A grizzly bear. It was a fucking grizzly bear that got me. Let's see here. Where did I leave off? Okay. Weather conditions in the Cascade Mountains had been frigid in the days before and during the search. Okay. PSA. Public service announcement. We got a public service announcement for everybody. This is an address to all Americans and North America, as I like to call it, Canada. Weather conditions can change rapidly in the mountains. It can happen very quickly. A lot of people don't appreciate this. They don't. But it's very dangerous. A storm cell can come in and you're very high up there. There's low oxygen. You can't breathe too good. Believe me, and I love breathing. But in all seriousness, folks, weather conditions do change rapidly in the mountains. It's something to be aware of. Be very conscious of it. It's what happens. And here's the killer part. Here's like where I go and look at this and I go, yeah, okay. Had been frigid days before the surge, which included snow, freezing rain, and temperatures falling below zero. Okay, there is nothing more shitty than rain during a hike and you're not prepared for that. You don't have like a rain jacket or something in your bag. You will get fucking cold and you will stay cold. And if it's freezing rain, there's nowhere outside for that to get better unless you start a fire. And if you don't have a means of doing that, you're fucked. You're completely fucked. I've been out there when it's raining in the summer. It seems like it's kind of cooling, but if the temperature dips down and you're up high on the mountain and it's like the sun's going away, you're in a really unhappy land. You're unhappy. You're not content. You're fucking miserable. And if it's freezing rain, you're potentially dying from exposure. Rescuers also had to battle high water levels in rivers and fallen trees. So here's another thing. Another PSA. 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 Big Pharma. This is RFK. Big Pharma will get you in the wilderness. McDonald's will sell you poison Big Macs, and you will pass away from indigestion. Okay, this is what I actually want to say. A lot of people, when they go missing outdoors, it's near a body of water. When you report somebody missing, one of the first things that person's going to ask you is, were they near any bodies of water? And I'll give me a second to sip on some tea. I do too much rambling, my throat gets through. And before I started this podcast, I was literally in conversations with my buddies about a bunch of random different shit. And I definitely wore up my voice. Nothing like some Twinings tea. You can have things like water surges where the water levels on a river suddenly rise. They go near the water. It's slippery. They slip on a rock, bump their head, fall in the river, gone forever. It's what happens. There's also, what do we call them? Crevices, a crevasse. You fall in those, you'll never be seen again. Somewhere random is just like a small hole. It's like a slit in the ground. It's just somewhere random. You just happen to step where no one else won't step for another fucking like 100 years. It's not a good place to be. Where did we leave here? Oh yeah, high waters. See, these guys are heroes though, right? They're risking it all. They're doing it safely though, right? The right equipment, hopefully. Hundreds of sightings of Sasquatch have been reported in the Pacific Northwest of the United States and Western Canada. That's where I hang out. Both those fucking places, dog. I'm in Bigfoot country. Fuck Bigfoot. I'll fight him if I get the chance. I'm just joking. He's protected. He's an endangered species. He's an endangered. So, alongside the Loch Ness Monster, the creature is one of the world's most famous cryptids. Animals whose existence is disputed are unsubstantiated by science. Interesting. What do we have? The Ogopogo? There's an Ogopogo in Canada. It's basically a Loch Ness Monster. It's got a cooler name, though. Ogopogo. Do you want an Ogopogo with your French fries?
What's an Ogopogo?
It's a corn dog on a stick.
No, I'm good, thanks.
So there have been many alleged sightings of Sasquatch that some communities have taken to measures to protect the hairy mythical creature. Apparently there's a county where the pair went missing. A person could get a year in jail or $1,000 fine if one of the folklore creatures is harmed, quote unquote. Can't harm it. That's interesting. We're putting protections up for animals that don't exist. That's like an easy law to pass, eh? Oh. Who's going to complain about, huh? What, you're upset that you can't harm the Bigfoots? Have you harmed any? You worried? No? Okay, good. Fuck off then. Man, if someone came to me and I was like a lawmaker, decision maker, bylaw passer, whatever the fuck it's called, I'd be like, oh, okay, protect the unicorns. Next. Oh, okay. Leprechauns. Yep. Okay. Yep. Bigfoot. Yep. We got them all. We're all covered. Um, Bigfoot, though, in all seriousness, I like to. I'm not going to say pretend. I like to want to believe that it's real. And I have I did an article on X before about this. I think there's like a whole host of possibilities where something could possibly, potentially, perhaps, maybe exist. I have a concept of a plan. To exist. Like there are primates that are monkeys that have been documented to actively avoid human and take measures to avoid them. Maybe a similar behavior could exist in a Bigfoot. Maybe, perhaps something. Maybe they have a very long, widespread territory. We don't know. We don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. It's an international man of mystery. World champion of hide and seek for many years now. Nobody has found him. Nobody. Yeah, but like that, like I said, like all jokes aside, like 2 men lost their lives. Fuck, man, like, you kind of wish you could go back in time and give people like a few tips, like, hey, it's still shit weather out there. Hey, there's still fucking mountain lions. Like, what are you gonna do when you find Sasquatch? Like, what if okay, here's my thing. Okay, let's pretend for a moment that scientifically we've proven Bigfoot exists and it's real and the world just accepts it, like it accepts bears, mountain lions, cougars, whatever. Bigfoot is probably fucking like the most terrifying fucking thing you could run into, assuming it's just an animal, right? It's not like paranormal or nothing. It's just a fucking animal. When you run into a black bear, it's kind of terrifying. When you run into a grizzly bear, it's absolutely fucking terrifying. When you run into like a big Tom mountain lion, it's fucking terrifying. And if you don't have like an arm with you, you're fucked. You're kind of fucked. You're at the whim of that creature. It's you versus it. Maybe you got like a machete or something, or bear spray. Maybe that helps you. I don't know. But it's going to be terrifying. You're going to be put into a situation where you're fucking terrified. I've ran into like a grizzly bear sort of before. I've talked about it on the podcast. It was terrifying. That was terrifying enough for me to be like, I'm fucking terrified. I'd never want to deal with that shit. Now imagine a gorilla. Imagine like being like hiking somewhere in like the Congo, you run into a gorilla. That would be kind of fucking terrifying, especially if they weren't friendly. Now imagine like a bipedal ape that isn't friendly and he just fucking starts to tear into you. It's fucking terrifying. It's terrifying to run into creatures. It's terrifying to run into animals. Not all of them are fucking Snow Whites, like loving birds and deer. They're just not. Some of them are like, it's mere you out there, right? Like, fuck. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Be prepared, wear the right clothes, know the weather, know the routes, let people know where you are. It's sad, man. It's sad. Like, it's a loss of life. It's sad. It's tragic. Like, all joking aside, it's sad and tragic. I'm glad they didn't really publish who these people were. I'm glad their identities are protected. I'm glad the families don't have to deal with like that kind of shame and embarrassment. Because really what they should have said is they died hiking. That's what they should have said. There is some responsibility on the people reporting this, I guess myself included. But I feel like I'm doing it more justice and service than a lot of these other people are. They're sort of like, I don't know, like, have we lost it as like a culture? Have we lost it as a society? Have we lost it as a civilization where, we can get more out of two people's death by clowning on them than we can by like, realizing it's a tragedy or reporting on it as a tragedy, an unfortunate event. Like, I don't know where we're at anymore. And don't get me wrong, like I understand why people are seeing the humor in it. And I know how like humor helps people cope with tragic incidents. It's dark humor. I'm quite familiar. Seen some shit, folks. But yeah, I don't know. I get it's like a coping mechanism. That's the only like silver lining, saving grace of it all, I suppose. But to those people, they're probably thinking, fuck you, that's my dad. How, like, fuck you all the way. So, I don't know. I'm kind of, I don't know. Maybe am I getting too soft in my old age where like I'm too compassionate? I think that's what's happening. I want to be the funny guy. I want to laugh at tragedy. I truly do. I want to give you people the ha-has and the ho-hos, but I can't do it anymore. I don't have that dog in me. That dog it's sleeping. It's a sleeping dog. It's a sleeping dog, folks. What else can I talk about here? Let's just jump into X. Why don't we give good old fucking X a go, eh? Let's give good old X a go, bud. Hold on, let me just save this a little bit. Don't want to lose that 20 minutes I just recorded. It was Kino. Probably not. It's probably shit, but you ain't going to judge me. Right, X? You're not going to judge me. All right. Got to go to my profile here. What do we got? What do we got snapping on here? Well, we can say my nature and wildlife community is up to 10 fucking members now. We're crushing it. We're fucking crushing it, guys. We're fucking crushing it. Oh, we got the Pika post. That was the Wildlife Wednesday. Cute little Pikas. Everyone likes that. That post was quite successful. They got quite a bit of reach, but sadly, it did not get the responses I deserve. This goes with my theory that people on X do not like to see effort. They don't like to see people trying because they don't want to try. And they just see it as competition. They don't want to reward it. When I see it gets 1.8k views, that means the majority of my followers saw it, but the majority of my followers did not like it. There's no excuse for that, folks. Likes are free. They truly are. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I'm following many of you, and maybe perhaps I haven't liked all your pin posts. And I'm sorry. Moving on. What did I post today? The Rocky Mountain states and the Canadian Rocky Mountain provinces should have a Rocky Mountain dollar, basically a euro for the mountainous regions of North America. Why just the Rockies, you ask? Because skiing and hiking tourism. I'm kind of dumb. I'm kind of stupid. Like, this is kind of a dumb post, but I thought maybe people would get talking about it. Also, some sort of agreement to be able to work in each place respectively for the residents of those states and provinces. I just want to have a ski pass that works in every ski resort in North America. This is what it boils down to. It's a completely selfish decision. And then I used Grok to generate an image of a Rocky Mountain dollar with Elon Musk and Donald Trump's face on it. I was trying to be provocative. I was trying to be a little bit of a shit disturber. But it didn't really get that much bait. But I think most people on X kind of support Elon since he took it over. Trump, I don't know. Yeah, probably a lot of conservatives on there since Elon got him elected, more or less. Is that a hot take? Oh, is that a hot take? Okay, I got a picture of Outdoor World here. And this picture of Outdoor World has a Canadian flag and an American flag. And that got some people talking. They were kind of like, hold on a second. Wait a moment. Where was this picture taken? I need to know. And I told people, don't ask. Don't ask why there's both flags there. And I just basically said, the Rocky Mountain enjoyers know no boundaries. They have the passports. They cross the borders. They go hiking wherever they please. They love it. A lot of the hiking trails, they go into this different country. It's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. You should try it sometime. We had Perihelion Day. I'm probably not saying that correctly, and I'm not going to repeat it again because I don't want to sound stupid on my own podcast. January 4th this year. Earth is at a point in its orbit where it's closest to the sun. This does not change the weather, folks. It does not make it hotter. It occurs roughly 2 weeks every December solstice. 2 weeks after the December solstice. Today's Earth center is approximately 91,402,500 miles from the sun's center. However, numerical integrations is necessary to make the precise predictions of perihelion passage. Perihelion Day varies each year because of the precession of its orbital factors that follow specific cyclical patterns known as Milankovitch cycles. The moon also plays a slight factor in this as well. Perihelion is derived from the Greek words peri, meaning near, and Helios, who was a Greek god of the sun. The word basically means close to the sun. The more you know, folks, the more you know. That's kind of nature. That's space nature, son. Happy payday. Hey, everybody. Happy payday. Hey. What do we got here? We got keep posting, keep mosting, keep toasting, keep ghosting, keep boasting. We're all going to make it, folks. just don't give up. This is what I said on the post. Thank you to everyone who has read, viewed, watched, liked, shared, reposted, quoted, replied, commented, bookmarked, or downloaded my content. I'm basically at a point where Premium Plus is paying for itself, and it's all thanks to you. I do my best to give back and show my love back, and I hope you appreciate it as much as I appreciate you. I'm very grateful to even have a single person enjoy something I've created, so I'm always astonished to receive love from you. Thank you to X for making this platform what it is. Thank you, Elon Musk, for your purchase of the platform. Thank you to all the X employees, engineers, coders, and the fire-breathing dragons for shipping and maintenance and interactions with everyone. I know my payout is small, but I believe it's important to be grateful. And like I said, I'm basically cash positive now, with a huge, which is huge to me. Bigly, it's huge to me. Don't let X find out, but I'd be doing this for free anyway. Don't let X find out. Don't let them find out. And then I get some love from some people in the comments. They're great people. They're wonderful people. I walked into this comment section and I said, look at all these wonderful people. They're beautiful people. I got to give a shout out to a lot of these people because they truly are some of the best people that are following me, and they create some of the best content. These are true patriots. These are true American people. And I want you all to really get to know them. We have Sherilyn, wonderful person, at Sherilyn Live. Follow them. Give them a follow. We have Gabby, the wonderful Gabby. She likes to gab. She gabs a lot in spaces. She's becoming quite the popular Spaces host. You should catch her while she's small because she's going to blow up, people. And that's at Gabby_Doge A7X. We got Mars. We can't forget Mars. It's the wonderful Mars. The original Mars Alamute. At Mars Alamute. Follow Mars. Wonderful content creator on the platform. People love her. I see how much love she gets. I can't believe it. I'm like, she's a wonderful creator. I follow her. I like her stuff. Wonderful. We got Dogecoin for life. We can't forget about Dogecoin for life. He's in Gabby's spaces all the time. He's always contributing. He's always laughing. He's always sharing. He's always liking. Give it up for Dogecoin for life. Then we got Gobbles. We mentioned Gobbles last time. Of course, we're mentioning Gobbles again. We saved perhaps the best for last. The best for last, folks. Gobbles at Fat Synth. We got at PH Fat Synth, like synthetic or synthesizer. I think it's supposed to be for synthesizer. We got some beautiful people there, folks. Some beautiful people. They're kind of like the ones that make it possible, that motivate me to keep going. I try to show them as much love as I can back as well. It's a wonderful community on X. I recommend everyone join it. Some of these people aren't even quite getting paid yet, and they're far better than me. It's just the way it kind of goes with that 5 million impressions. Some people, they chase that down. Other people, they're on island time. They're on mountain time. They'll get there when they get there, and they ain't going, they don't need to go anywhere fast because, they just enjoy it. They're here for it. And you know what? I think how it works is once they get to it, they'll be back paid anyway. So I hope they're still doing that kind of method because those people deserve it. And I hope when they get it, it's a big payout. It's going to be a massive payout. And when they see it, it's going to be glorious. We're going to see Gabby. We're going to see Gobbles. They're going to post great posts about, look at this payout. They've been looking at it for a while. They've probably seen On Track for Payouts. And it's going to be beautiful. They're banking lots of money, folks. They're banking lots of dough. It'll be cool. And I look forward to, I hope they get like 1,000 or something. I'll be disappointed if they don't. At least a couple hundred. I shared a story I've shared before, but I put a different spin on it. Sort of like that one time I rescued a disoriented ruffed grouse from the side of the road and brought it to a wildlife sanctuary. I can't get over how polite and well behaved she was. Turns out birds with concussions lose their apprehensiveness of people. She was probably clipped by a vehicle. And then I have a ruffed grouse sitting in my fucking passenger car seat, sitting on my sweater, just looking like a little snack. That
That's not the way you're supposed to rescue animal, folks. I was slightly, perhaps, unprepared for it, but now I'm very well prepared.
You got to keep a box. You got to keep a box in your car with like a towel and some gloves, maybe a stick to do that safely. You don't want to get something from that animal, get clawed or pecked or bit. Today, so January 2nd
was National Pet Travel Safety Day. A reminder when visiting national parks to put the doggo on a leash. It might be good.
This post actually got quite a bit of traction because people were quite interested in some of the things I mentioned in it. And there is a bit of an actual PSA here because when you visit national parks, it is actually against the rules to have your dog off a leash. Though I myself do like having a dog off the leash who is well behaved and can listen and has good recall. However, some people do not have that trained into their dog, and their dogs, I have seen people, I have personal experience watching somebody else's dog run into a herd of elk and almost get their head crushed or get underhooked by one of those big horns, penetrating, it could potentially penetrate their soft underbelly and gut them, and then that would, in most cases, likely require the dog need to be put down or a very expensive surgery. So as a PSA in national parks, especially when there's lots of elk sort of like even in the towns, be very conscious of what your dog's going to do. Also, some water sources can poison your pet, causing death. So this is bacteria or algae. So never let them drink from like puddles or still water that's kind of been sitting there and just kind of like, like it's just like festering pool of scum. Don't let them drink from that. And then I kind of red pilled a lot of people on the raccoon urine thing, how like dirty, like, so, but then some people got worried. They messaged me and they said, Epion, what are you talking about? You're kind of scaring people here with this raccoon urine. You're talking about raccoon piss. You're scaring the people of X. We're going to shut down your post if you keep scaring people like this. And I said, let me air it out in the comments. So basically, yeah, and also unleashed dogs can be targets for mountain lions on hiking trails. That's a big thing too. So where did I reply to someone? Okay, yeah. So leprososis, I'm not saying that, Gyardia, roundworm, distemper can spread through urine and feces from raccoons. So raccoons are kind of like cats. They have like little things they call latrines. They like to go in a specific place. They don't like to, soil their dens and stuff like that. But basically raccoons become another animal to sort of avoid. Skunks, porcupines, you already avoid those, but put raccoons on your list. If you see your dog take off after a raccoon, the raccoon's going to dart up a tree. But another thing that animals like to do before they flight is they vacate their like urine, their bladders. So the dog might chase the raccoon will pee, the dog will then double back and probably smell the urine and stuff like that, maybe lick it. Don't let that happen. Keep them away from like latrines and stuff. If you're walking, there's like an abandoned shed or like some sort of like outpost or something, and there's like raccoons living in it, and you see them, be like, oh no, like doggo, come here, don't be sniffing around there. That sort of thing. It's just sort of like something to keep in the back of your mind. It's not a reason to like not like walk your dog or whatever. It's not like there's raccoon pee all over the planet, on what we have here. Oh, New Year's Eve, man. I am such a fucking loner. This made me realize I'm a fucking loser.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Epion, and I'm a loser. I'm a fucking big loser. I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of cool. Maybe I'm kind of base. Maybe I'm like stoic. I'm stoic. I'm not a loser that hangs up by himself on New Year's. I'm a stoic. I'm fucking a badass, bruh. So I posted, I will be chasing the Northern Lights tonight to ring in the new year. Going to be driving through a couple small isolated snowstorms to get to a remote area where there is no overcast or light pollution. Happy New Year, everyone. It's unlikely that I'll have cell phone or internet reception, so I'm saying it now. Man, there's so many great people out there, man. Fucking, the people came in here and they said Happy New Year to me. Like, God bless your hearts. I didn't get lucky. I couldn't find the lights. The little geostorms were like, I guess, too sporadic and isolated, and certain areas were mostly covered in cloud cover, snow, blowing snow, etc. It wasn't great. I drove out there, went through like these little isolated snowstorms, kind of dangerous, dark, always wildlife on the road, so you gotta drive slow. I got skunked. And I don't mean I got sprayed by a skunk. I mean, I came up with nothing. I got zilch, nada, nothing. But that's what it is in content creation for like the nature guy. Like every time you go looking out for animals, you're not going to find animals every time. Every time you go looking for the aurora, it's not going to show up. It's just the way it's the nature of the things. And even like celestial events, like there could be cloud cover. It's just what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to pump my own horn a bit. The content I make is difficult in a sense where it's dependent on things that I get lucky in a sense. I have to get lucky. There's a percentage of lucky there. Obviously, consistency and frequency improve that, but sometimes you just doesn't come up Millhouse. Then I posted this. It was kind of just like something I heard similar. If you jumped into a black hole, you would outlive everyone on Earth. Moments would go by for you, but trillions of years would go by for the rest of the universe as you descended into it. So you remember that scene from Interstellar where they go on the planet that's kind of close to a black hole, and every minute they're down there, it's like a year on Earth. So they come back, it's been 25 years. That's no chump change. It's fucking quite a bit of time. Well, they were pretty far away from the black hole. Now imagine actually jumping into the black hole. So if a planet that's far away from a black hole is a minute a year, what do you think being actually at the black hole is? So even like a second. So it's crazy. So let's say you were surviving that close up to a black hole to begin with, and you like jumped in, and it's like, okay, 1 second, and you're going to die. You're probably already dead. You're like bifurcating into the black hole. But it's like within that amount of, like, even on the approach to the black hole, everyone on Earth is dead. Like, for frame of reference, like if you're going to choose a way, like let's say you're on your deathbed and you're like, I want to die in the black hole, and you're driving the ship into the black hole or something, on your way to the black hole, as you approach like the event, or like not even the event horizon, just like its gravitational pull, I guess, everyone is dead. Even if you were like, let's say, not even accounting for the time it took to get to the black hole, like to where it is in the universe. Like let's say there was a wormhole and you could get to like just outside the parameters of its like influence or pull, just into that trajectory, you're outliving everyone. Now let's say you're like free falling, you're into the hole or the mass or whatever, and like even though, like, let's say you're somehow alive, you've outlived everyone on Earth that ever existed and ever would have existed in the future. Isn't that fucking nuts? That's fucking nuts. And that takes us back to the episode of last week's podcast. The hyena. That's it, folks. That's it, folks. Well, that's about it. That's a nice little powder for y'all. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. I hope you had a wonderful week. I hope you had a wonderful New Year's. Until next time, ta-ta for now. Ciao, bye-bye.